Hey guys, it's Mr. Johns. Welcome to this episode of... What are we going to call it? Railway Empire. So, new train game. I love train games. And in a previous short series, I played a game called Railroads Online, which was all about laying track and setting up delivery routes for the trains. There really wasn't much to it, and it's been in beta for a long time. I am done with it. So it needed so much. So look at this game. Graphics are just so cool. So I got to show you kind of what I'm working on here and give you kind of a quick overview. I just love the graphics. You can't get any closer than this. And then when you move I'm just moving my cursor basically. It kind of it's bouncing me. I'm not bouncing. So it lets you get so close to the ground, and that's a little bit annoying sometimes. But the graphics are photorealistic images of rocks, and that's what gives this thing its realistic look. Just gorgeous. Absolutely love it. It would be nicer if there was a camera mode, and I haven't found it or figured that out yet, to shoot some video, to actually be able to kind of smoothly, like this is as smooth as I can get, kind of scroll around. The game itself works as most train sims do. I just think the graphics are better. So let me give you a kind of an overview here. So I chose Western United States, of course. That's where I live. And eventually I'll branch out. There are a bunch of DLCs, and the one that catches my eye, there's two of them, Australia and Mexico. I think those environments would be really cool to build in. But I'm starting with what I'm familiar with. So I'm based in Idaho, and so there's Winnemucca, there's Elko, so there's Nampa. There we go. There's Nampa, little Nampa, Idaho. That's the only representative of Idaho right there. So that is the state of Idaho right there, all the way up to the Canadian border, right? So Baker City, Oregon. Over here we've got Portland, Oregon. I don't know why Seattle is not there. Washington should be. So there is no Washington. So maybe that's not Canada. That's interesting. Didn't notice that. So this is Oregon, Portland, Eugene. All right. And of course, big mountain passes, and they would probably be bigger in real life, I think. But in general, fairly realistic. So we end up at Gold Beach, which is one of my favorite places to visit, is what I thought I would start with. And there is a pretty gnarly mountain. There's a bald eagle flying there. Pretty gnarly mountain range here that I don't know how easy it would be to build. This game does let you tunnel automatically, and so maybe that'll be easier than I think. But what I chose to do is just follow the easiest route, which is what real trains did when possible. So you basically just start with your city, and you build a train depot, a train station, and then it's good to have a maintenance shed, and then some kind of a tower that will provide, and in this case, this provides, I think, everything: sand, water, etc. So you have those things, and then you want to make sure that you stop if you see some kind of resource. You build another train station, a small one. This isn't a city, so just a train station, which I thought was weird. I thought maybe it should be called something other than a train station. But I mean, I guess that's what a train station is. It's not just for people. So there's our train station, and I wish I could scroll in closer. I cannot. So that's Collins Preserve. Again, cool graphics, and it has to be a certain distance away from that resource, and you create you buy a train, and then you create a route. So buy a train is up here, set up a rail line up here, And so what I have is the train that goes from Gold Beach, Collins Preserve, and it picks up some stuff from a farm. And in this case, I made a huge train station with 4 tracks, only because it has a larger area around it, so that it would automatically connect both of those. So, and then we're coming down the Oregon coast is what we're doing here. And then because there's nothing over there, lots of mountains. I come inland, I hit Redding, and then I hit Sawyer Manor, and there's Sacramento, California, and over here to San Francisco, California. And then, of course, this is where the Golden Gate Bridge would be eventually, and maybe it will be, which would be really cool. So San Francisco being a future huge city, I made a large station there as well. So my goal is to basically connect, and I'm in sandbox mode, so just so you know, I'm having all kinds of fun because money, there's no limit. So I'm just connecting, and I'm connecting all the farms and all the resources together, and buying trains and creating the rail routes. So really cool. There's a train, for example, right there. And it gives you information, what kind of train it is. It's a Reno 440, and the route is Los Angeles to San Francisco. It'll, of course, stop in between, if I told it to, at the stations to pick up resources. And it kind of automatically does that, so I actually don't have to, unlike a lot of train sims, where you have to choose the cars that match the resources. This does that for you, so it's a different take, which I'm enjoying. Now, what is this train doing? Is he waiting? I'm trying to figure out if he's waiting for anything. He is not moving. So I see some warnings up here, but I don't think that's for that train. So I don't really know what his issue is. So usually that means he's broken down or he's waiting for a track to clear. But I don't see that. So I think what I like is just the geography is familiar. If this was Australia or Mexico, it wouldn't be. And so I'm familiar with a lot of this, not all of it, of course. But as I get down here to Los Angeles, and then I have basically trains that will have these routes, and then they connect between each city. So when they deliver things to a city, they each can pick up what they need. That part's all automatic. Here's an example of where it tunnels automatically. One of your main goals is to find a route that keeps the slope as minimal as possible. So if you get up there near 8, 9, 10% grade, trains will be very slow. So, and sometimes that's pretty hard to avoid. So we have looks like we have a warning here, and it's going to tell us, hey, missing operating supplies. So that usually just means, hey, you need to slap in a tower, and you have to be outside of the city limits for that. And we'll see if that likes that. And since things are free, you probably wouldn't do this if they weren't free, but you can go in and say, hey, I need a maintenance building for $80,000. It automatically creates that. So even though this is a really small outpost, it's a cattle ranch, you wouldn't have a huge maintenance shed and all this stuff here, but apparently that train needs it. So missing operating supplies. And so now I've got what we need. I don't know how long it'll take for that guy to, since he's broken down, I don't know how long it'll take for him to get over here, but he'll get there. So we're going to go to the next one over here. But let me finish showing you my routes. So we are down near Tucson, Arizona, and here's Flagstaff, Arizona. So if we are to rotate, this would be the north-south, the actual looking at the map kind of thing. And so the train will go through all these things, end up in Tucson, which this one says missing operating supplies, which is interesting because maybe it's because he doesn't go this way, and so we need supply towers over here just outside of town. And nice bridge. I love that. That's so cool. Bridge to a tunnel. So one thing that they could improve on is the camera mode. It's a little jerky, and I would love to have a little bit smoother to shoot videos of the trains, a little bit smoother. You can, however, click on the train and then, let me remember how to do this. Click on the train and then, oh, there we go, camera mode. And you can change, you don't have a lot. You can whistle. Woo-woo. I can change to 4 different, and I wish there was a free camera. It does say move camera, but all you can really do is look around from that particular camera. But it's still cool, but you're limited. I can only look right here. I can't just free. But good graphics, people walking around, and the buildings are cool. So this is the train that's broken down. And then to leave, you just right-click, and it bounces you out of there. So at some point, it will be repaired. And you can see all the way across the map where you've got issues, which is pretty cool. So I have just, before hitting record on this video, was just adding some additional stops. So from Flagstaff, we've got up here in Arizona, we have all these. Oh, there's another one. Or no, that's the one I was just at. Yeah. We have all these resources that kind of are up in the, out in the desert, and they swing around and come back through Kingman, and then there's a tunnel, and it's a loop, long tunnel, and it comes out, another short tunnel, and it comes out through another resource, through another few resources back to Flagstaff. And so that's a loop. And I was just looking at my next step. I've covered pretty much everything except for up here. I don't know where Bodie is. Carson City is still Nevada. So, I mean, Nevada is huge. Winnemucca, Nevada. So this is all Nevada, very open. But right down here, we've got Salt Lake over here. So we're getting close to Utah. And we've got some lakes. That must be the Great Salt Lake right there. These mountains is what I started the video with, showing you, which I just think is so cool, but would be very difficult to build through. So if there are any resources close, I'll just have to go around, which makes sense. I'll go around through here and continue. So that's what the map looks like. I don't think I can zoom out anymore, but you can. I can click around quickly with this mini map on the right side. It shows me the blue dots are places where I have a station, and the white dots are where I don't. So eventually I'll have one in every station, including Nampa, Idaho, just down the road. So love that. And then if you are interested, this is on Steam, Railway Empire. It is, I don't know if I can go to the store page, and I'll show you how much it's running right now. One of the better train games I've seen in quite a while. Pretty excited about that. So it's $30. There's a bundle right now. There's a bundle for $37, which includes
America,
all the DLCs.
land of dreams, land of progress.
Amazing. So
We have
$37, and you get, let's see, oh my goodness, you get all those DLCs. That's probably the way to do it. I wish I would have done that, honestly. Still probably cheaper for me to just buy that whole package, because I'll have to do the math. Good idea to do the math, but you got all these: Mexico, Great Lakes, the Andes, Great Britain and Ireland, France, Germany, Europe, Australia, and Japan. So just the terrain and the different trains and buildings would be pretty interesting. Oh, so let me show you that before I wrap it up today. If you're a train person, I could go to the engine shed. You can go through and look at all these different trains in 3D and get information about them, and then it has all the stats. But it is it's on a turntable, so when you're actually looking at the train, you can rotate with your mouse, or you can use the arrow keys and actually turn the turntable, which I think is pretty cool. And then you go through and look at all the trains. And so all the way back, it tells you this is 1830 and how much it costs. And there are 41 trains I can get in this original game. So a lot of these are historical little trains, some of the first steam trains made, and then they get a little more powerful and newer as they go. So really cool, aren't they cool? I just love them. I want one of each. So, and that's probably what I'll do eventually, is have one of each running around the country. And there's the Reno 440 that I have. So gorgeous trains are getting bigger, more expensive, more powerful, and the stats, of course, down here will show you the difference. And if you're if you're going through mountains and up steeper slopes, you need some of these more powerful locomotives. And they are all steam trains except for the EMD diesel unit. Look at how big that one is. That's massive. Let's go ahead and rotate that. It's so cool. So just love it. So different than the other train games I've been playing. And then here's the EMD I was talking about. So this is a diesel made in 1934, so one of the more recent. It's still not super new, but one of the probably most common and popular diesel engines, still in use today all over the world. Really, really cool train. So buying a DLC, I think it'd be fun, because you'd have trains that maybe you're not familiar with, and there's still a lot in here. I wish there were more. But I think it's because of the time. Right now I'm playing, the game is April 23rd, 1845. So I'm wondering, and it should, as I play more, new trains should be developed and offered. So I'm excited about that, to kind of go through history with the trains, and eventually have some more modern trains, even though I like the steam ones better. But it would be fun to kind of see how those go. So if you get a chance, it looks like right now is a good time to buy this whole bundle. So it's called Railway Empire, and on Steam, you get it and all the DLCs. I'm just kicking myself now. $37. It's 58% off. That's a great deal. So go play some Railway Empire. It's a great game. I'll catch you next time. For now, Mr. Johns is out.